Ex-girlfriend's cat jumped onto my ass and dug its claws in. What was the most uncomfortable thing that happened to you during sex? Did you stop?
Was riding him pretty hard. Had an upset stomach but pushed through it. Farted on his balls. Not a toot, a full-blown fart. He heard it, felt it, and tried to hide his laugh. I was so embarrassed I got off. We are married now. You still managed to get off? Most impressive. Most impressive indeed. Oh yeah. Humiliation gives me immense pleasure and I just immediately burst.
I discovered my ex was cheating on me while we were having sex. She was on top of me, and we were going at it pretty hot and heavy when I noticed her phone kept getting messages. I went to turn it off when I saw a message pop up from some guy that I knew she was friendly with. Needless to say, it was a pretty uncomfortable ride to the finish line. Yes, I finished before confronting her about it. Was on the bottom and my eyes opened for a split second and something appeared to be moving on the ceiling. I opened them again just in time to see a spider which proceeded fall onto my face. Sudden back spasm. Not good. Had to stop. Made me feel really old. Am old. Can perform without back spasms. They cripple me the day after though. Also, my wife makes sounds and I can't tell if her hips hurt or she's enjoying it. Old sucks. Edit, apparently everyone is doing it until it hurts. Girl was giving me head. My load was a little more than she could swallow. She gagged and coughed, some came out her nose. My ex and I were having sex in her living room when we realized that we hadn't drawn the shades. She noticed this because 3 kids had their faces pressed up to the window watching us. Yes, we stopped. No, we did not remember to pull the shades closed next time.
Dislocated my shoulder and got a concussion. Shoulder popped back in and we carried on. Edit, we were standing. Me with hands against the wall, him behind me. Combined pressure popped the shoulder out, forced me face first into the wall resulting in concussion. I kinda maneuvered my arm until I heard it pop back in.
Ex-girlfriend's cat jumped onto my ass and dug its claws in. We stopped.
Haha. My husband was going down on me one night. I had my eyes closed when he blew a raspberry into my cooch. I didn't realize he had burst out laughing because our Yorkie dog had climbed onto his back then sat on his shoulder watching him probably wondering what he was eating. Bonus same dog, we are doing it on the couch. I am on top. He says, is that you? I was like, what? He says my nuts. The dog is standing on his back legs licking his nuts. Rip RZA. Nuts but amazing dog.
There's a knock on my door. It's my mom asking if she can come in. I say aloud and resounding no. She opens the door anyway because she did not take the time to process what was said. Mood ruiner for sure. The famous mom knocks. Knock to announce your presence, don't wait for a response. I'm both respecting your privacy by knocking but asserting my authority as your father by coming in anyway. When I was in college I was having sex with a girl that I had basically just met. Then all of a sudden, she starts crying and tells me to stop. I get off of her and ask what the problem was. She says that she was raped recently and thought she was ready to have sex again to get over it, but she wasn't. I told her it was okay and asked if she wanted to talk about it and we just ended up staying up that night talking. Yikes, that's just sad. Did anything ever happen again, or was it just a quick night that never happened? Well, at that point in my life I was just getting over a long-term relationship and I really wasn't looking for anything serious. So, I didn't feel right trying to continue any sort of sexual relationship with her, especially when she was struggling with overcoming her trauma. I just comforted her that night and offered to be there for her if she needed anyone to talk to in the future. She pulled me into her room and initiated. Then about 10 minutes or so into it, she starts bawling, asking me, "Why are you doing this to me? I don't understand why you're doing this to me." So I stopped and tried to make sure she was okay. Then she kept asking, "Why aren't you fucking me?" I was so confused. I just made up an excuse to leave a little while later. I was a teenager and I was standing up hitting it from the back. Her dad opened the door, walked in with McDonald's. I got McDonald's. He saw, turned around, and shut the door behind him, taking the McDonald's with him. It was never brought up afterward. Answering for girlfriend, now wife. I was hammering her from behind, and we were both really into it. I slipped out and, without checking, slammed my dick full force straight up the wrong hole. She screamed. I panicked, and all further sexy time for the evening was cancelled. Spent the next hour cuddling while she laughed and cried over her aching butthole. Couple of different ones. First one was after my then girlfriend's birthday and we had chocolate cake. Everyone was gone and she started giving me a blowjob in the kitchen, and when I came it was a pretty big load and she puked all over the floor. It was a mix of chocolate cake and jizz, so it was pretty gross. Second was with another girl I was dating who wanted to have some anal, and halfway through she told me to hurry, so I did and finished in her butt. She ran to the bathroom and I asked what was wrong and she replied by saying she had to shit really bad. Got super lucky on that one. Pooped on him. Was having a celiac attack at the time. We stopped, tried not to throw up, and cleaned everything it touched. Needless to say, we don't get freaky until we're certain it's over now. I'm married to that guy now, so he was definitely a keeper. If you can accidentally shit on a guy and he is understanding about the unfortunate event, he's absolutely marriage material.
I was sorta dating this guy and hadn't slept with him yet. Anyways, he was bragging for days about his tongue game, which I should have taken that as a sign. We get to his apartment, he takes my clothes off and immediately goes straight to my pubic bone, munching on it like Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, who hadn't had any nourishment in days. It hurt like a MF and I had to tell him to go lower. He did, and then proceeds to start the oh-so-original ABC method out loud. I just starfished, I couldn't focus. I didn't know what to do. As a woman who loves oral, receiving, and giving, this was a surprise to me. But what was a real surprise was when he got to a letter that just might have worked and I said to not stop. He stopped, said I was being too bossy, and his jaw hurt. I truly tried to get up to leave, so I could just shower and finish myself off, but he put my legs on his shoulders, pumped himself in me for a good 45 seconds and jizzed all over my stomach, and then asked for round 2 whilst I was in the bathroom cleaning myself up and calling an Uber. I regret that whole night. Edit. Hello friends, I see a lot of my fellow Redditors asking what the ABC method is. Well, it's basically where, when you go down on a woman, using your tongue on the clit, you, not out loud to clarify, use your tongue and do the ABC slowly, I might add, till you get to a certain letter that you might notice seems to please her more than the other letters. When you do notice that letter, don't stop using said letter. Then POOF. You got some shaking thighs as earmuffs for winter.
Okay, so. Circa 2004. I'm 22 with a hot new crazy girlfriend. We live in a motel and bang 2 to 3 times a day. While doing it doggy, we start going hard. She pushed back into me. His butt bone slams into the left of my junk. Think 2 inches left of where your shaft starts. I screamed. I fell off the bed. I went to the hospital. My balls turned black. It was explained that gravity just carries blood down, so I had a minor bruise where I was hit and swollen black balls. The doc gave me pain meds. That was cool. He even called me to check and make sure I was okay. I've actually never seen a doc look so concerned before. I'm okay.